Okay, Shabbat Shalom, Mishpaka. I'm back. I hope you're well. I hope you watched that last video I just put out. I hope you've seen the truth, and I hope you've been dancing and singing for joy, because you've come to a great pearl of truth. I wasn't gonna. I had to come talk about something. I had to come back and make another video real quick. There's so much that I didn't say in the last video that I wanted to say. There's so much to say, to talk about, Mishpaka. There's so much. But most of you probably know that tomorrow, well, now today it's 12:30 or something like that. Now today is 12:11. Now today is the Day of Atonement, Yom Kippur. And look at the definition here for atonement. It is a reparation for a wrong or a injury. She wanted to make atonement for her husband's behavior, the reconciliation of the Most High and humankind through the Messiah. Now, Mishpaka, you should have seen that guy, Tony, down here in this video that I played for you, a part of, this guy right here. You should have seen that his dream with the mirrors. Go watch his video that I played you a clip of. Go watch it. And you should see that what his dream was. Look, he said he don't understand what the dream's about, but I got a good hunch that he's gonna figure it out. He thought it was about AI, and just think about this. He said in the beginning of his dream, he said that he was shutting the blinds and the windows, and that he realized that there was a whole master bedroom in the house that he didn't even know about. Just think about the symbolism for that. Most people don't know that this is Yahuda, is Yasharal. It's the set apart land. They don't realize it. And when he went in there into the room, those paintings were on the wall, and he knew, he made a connection with AI because he's seen that they were the same painting that this AI is making, this scary picture. What does AI stand for? Artificial intelligence. He was looking at those paintings, and then all of a sudden he said he was looking in a mirror, and it was like he had double vision. And there was a guy in the mirror, in the reflection with him, but it was like, but he turned around, he wasn't there, whatever, however he said it. You should know. The Most High showing him, and don't be surprised if you don't start having the same sort of dreams. If you ain't come to this truth, if you can't accept this truth, and I'm going to show you why you have to accept this truth, and it comes straight from the Messiah Yahusha. It comes straight from his mouth, and you're gonna have to see this if you want to live. It's just how it is. But if you noticed, he mentioned the movie Mist. This guy Tony down here, he mentioned the movie The Mist, and I seen him say something about that a couple days ago, and I watched part of it, like yesterday or the day before, and I was wanting to talk to you guys about this movie the next day, or that day, the day that I watched it. I wrote it down in my notes. I was going to come talk to you about it, and I had forgotten about it until I seen him mention it again in that video. And this is huge, Mishpaka. This principle, this realization that you can pick up from that movie, what I'm about to tell you that movie's about. I'm going to go show you some still shots I took of the plot from the Wikipedia of the movie The Mist. pulling up here behind me. But I don't think it's a coincidence that I've been shown what I've been shown all leading up into to today. And today I had yesterday on the 23rd, I had that. It was like an epiphany. I was like, wait a second. If I just make a post about if I just explain it like this in this post, I put the picture of the Beauty and the Beast on the post, on the Facebook post, and if I just say these things, maybe people will see it. They'll realize it. And I think if you look at it the way I was trying to convey it on that post, you'll see how it's a no-brainer. Once you see it, you're going to be like, oh yeah, just like I did. And so I think it was, if you want to call it destiny, whatever you want to call it, it had to happen on this day. That I realized that that this 923 stuff is it's the Amphalos idea. It's the crossing of realities. It's just like Messiah said. He said when the news of the reign is witness to the nations, that's when the end shall come. And then it says, and then when you see the abomination that lays waste, spoken of by Daniel, those in Yehuda flee to the mountains. There's a reason. And I'm going to try to break it down even more for you. I'm not going to stop until I know, like I've said so many times before, until the door is shut and I know there's no one else coming. I'm not going to stop talking about it. So if you don't want to know the truth about Babylon and the image of the beast and the mark of the beast, this channel's not for you. Because this is all I'm going to try to work out, because it's the only thing that matters right now. It's the key of David, of Daoud. It's the hidden manna. It's the secret of the Most High. It's been revealed. It's ended. The secret is ended. So I'm going to go show you a couple still shots from the movie The Mist. And I want to tell you that I just went, after I made that video just now, I went and rewatched the movie, the movie Seven Splinters in Time, and I strongly encourage you to go watch that movie. That movie, it's abstract, but that movie will explain everything to you, okay? Everything to you. But in that movie, it shows the mist. It's written on a wall behind him. It says the mist right on the wall. It shows there's more stuff that I just picked up that I never caught before. It shows the number 24 and X all through the movie. It shows the year I was born. It shows Anubis. And you know I've been telling you about Anubis. That's why it's on iPet Goat 2. That's why he's on that boat of Anubis. And what Anubis was known for, the fake god or whatever he was known as the protector of the sacred land, of the set apart land, of the most high's mountain. So I went and watched that again. I seen The Mist, and then I knew after I watched that movie just now, and I remembered what I wanted to tell you about The Mist, this movie The Mist. I said, yep, I got to go back, make another video. I got to tell y'all more of this life-saving truth, this life or death reality that you're going to have to get. And I'm going to read some of Messiah for you, and you're going to see why it's life or death. Take it or leave it. I hope you take it. I hope you take it. I hope you run with it. And you share the news of this with everyone you see. You don't have to share my videos, but share the news of it. I don't care, You should know that Babylon, I want nothing to do with Babylon. I don't want no money. I want life and love and freedom. That's what I want. So, here's this plot from the movie, The Mist. And I'm not going to read all of it for you, but notice the main character's name's David. And like I told you, a lot of those movies, the main characters, his name is either David or it starts with a D, like Darius or Daniel or something. And Daniel saw in the book of Daniel that he saw what Babylon was in the image of the beast. It's in there. And in that book, in that movie, Seven Splinters in Time, this guy that comes to help the main character Daniel out, he says his name is John Luca. And the truth of, and he talks about being born again. And I'm going to show you some of it here in just a second. His name's John Luca. And the truth of what I'm talking about is in John and Luke. And I'm going to show you a little bit of it. I'm going to show you why it is you need to get this truth. But in this movie, The Mist, okay, the reason I wanted to talk to you about it, in the beginning, the man David and his wife and his little son are in this house, and he's painting a painting, and a storm comes, and they come out the next morning to see what the storm did, and it done a bunch of damage. A tree fell on the house and ruined the painting and all this stuff, and they see this mist coming, and so they don't think nothing about it at first. And David and the neighbor and the little boy get in the car, and they go to town to get some supplies, some groceries and stuff. And they're in the grocery store, and the mist comes up to the building, and they're realizing that it's killing all these people outside. The mist is. And this is the key part right here, Mishpika. The front of the grocery store is all glass, where you can clearly see what's going on. You can see the mist out there, that it's killing everybody. But yet, the people inside the grocery store, they're fighting. They're quarreling with one another. They don't, some of them don't believe, like some of them see that there's been people killed, and then other people that didn't see it, but they see the mist. They heard the sirens going off. They know the military and the cops just went flying by and everything. They know something's going on out there, but they want to go out and running back to the mist and do whatever, go get whoever, go do what they got to do. And the main character, David, and other people are telling them, don't go out there. We just seen this thing. It just killed that guy. It killed this little kid. They don't believe him. They laugh and they mock at him. And they don't believe him. And he's trying to tell them, he's like, please don't go outside. Please don't do this. And yet they still do. And they fight with each other. They call him a liar. They mock and they scoff and they laugh at him. And the whole time, all he's trying to do is save their life. And they ain't buying it. They're not having it. Because all they care about is their material things, their riches, their cars, their houses. That's all they care about. But they end up dying. So, I mean, I ain't going to tell you to go watch that movie. It's a Stephen King movie. It's stupid, but it's the enemy writing all this, all the truth in it, and all these movies. And you should know, if you've been paying attention, whose hand is the enemy in? He's in the Most High. The Most High, he has Satan and Babylon in his hands like tools. And what that's for, it's taking out all the posers. It's separating the wheat from the chaff, the real from the fake. The true people, the true lovers of the Most High who want to come, it's separating them from the people who just give lip service, who ain't really bowdy. They're not about that life. They don't want it. They say they do. They probably think they do, but their actions tell you that they don't. So, yes, Satan wrote all this truth in these movies and these novels and stuff with Stephen King and all this different nasty crap. But don't forget that the Most High, he's the one that does all of it. So don't be afraid. If you're afraid to go watch a movie that I'm telling you about because you're afraid it's going to burn your eyes or send you to hell or something, you're lost anyway. Because you're not looking for the truth. You're afraid of what, even though I'm telling you the truth is in these things and you should go watch them, you're afraid of what you're letting fear direct you. And it's going to lead you to death, to Sheol. But look, so I was looking in this, about this movie, the Mist, right? And I seen that it was in this book. It was in this book with all these little short stories in it. And just look at the names of some of these short stories. You see the Mist right there. You see the Mist right here. See, so you know I'm not lying to you. Look, The Late Shift, The Enemy, Dark Angel, Mark whatever that is, Where the Summer Ends, Children of the Kingdom. That's the one I want you to pay attention to. Look at the one under it, Detective of Dreams, The Whistling Well. Now I want you to pay attention to, I'm going to show you something about the the Children of the Kingdom. Here it is. And it was in this book by this guy, Ted Klein, in Dark Gods. Let me see where the beginning of it is, right here. Right here at the top, where that purple is. See it right there? Klein's Children of the Kingdom, 1980, is a tale of urban fear and subterranean terrors. Okay, in it, the Gnostic gospel, and remember I've been telling you all this stuff is about the Gnostic, and Babylon, I told you in the Secret of Yahuwah Revealed Part 3, I show you them historical documents from the Montana Historical Society or whatever, where it talks about the Tahaglunk and the 6 noble cities that are by the Salt Lake, the Great Salt Lake. It says that there was 6 noble cities and that there was a great powerful people there, and that these people called the Gnosticaries come from the Great Lakes area and wiped them out. And the leader of the Gnosticary was someone that they feared. You can, when you read it and you hear what I say on that video, you'll know it's talking about Nebuchadnezzar, no doubt about it. And there's another thing that I wanted to show you. I'm not going to show you now. I'll show you another time. I found where back in like the 70s, I think it was, maybe the 60s, there was a bunch of relics found in Michigan that are Babylonian. And the naysayers, the Smithsonians, they said they were a hoax before they even seen it. They saw a picture of it and said, oh yeah, that's a hoax, that's not real. But yet, if somebody over there in Israel in Israel, if they're doing an archaeological dig, they never say that about that, do they? They instantly say, "Oh, this is proof of David's kingdom and whatever." They never say, and they hid it. They hid all that proof from Michigan. That's another story for another video. But you'll see in that movie, or in that video, The Secret of Yahuwah Revealed, where I read about the Tahaglunk, you'll know for sure that that's talking about Nebuchadnezzar. And Gnostic, Babylon, that's where Gnostic comes from. I know. I guarantee you. So, let's read a little bit about this book. In the summer of 77, when the son of Sam still stalked couples and the Bronx was burning, as a massive blackout hit the city on July 13th, which is oddly enough is my son's birthday. Unlike early blackouts, this one led to massive looting and destruction. Watching the chaos unfold from the sanctuary of his apartment balcony, Klein wondered what it would be like there, what it would be like if there were terrible things lurking in the hidden places of the city, and they used the cover of the blackout to their own ends. The cover of the blackout to their own ends. The tone of the story is set at the very beginning when, As an unnamed narrator travels home to Manhattan by bus from Boston, he passes through one half-deserted, rotting town after another. When he sees the crumbling rows of tenements and ugly red-bricked housing projects, some darkened and filthy-looking shops, reminds him of those great Mayan cities standing silent and abandoned with no clue to where the inhabitants had gone. I guarantee you, if you go back and you look at all those stories that were in that book where I found this one, I guarantee you they're all about the same thing. This one's called the Children of the Kingdom. Right here at the bottom, right here towards the bottom, it says, "The people he does see on the streets disgust him. Their actions unnerve him. Except for my reflection," there's that reflection, "I saw not one white face." All the other people in this movie, he said, are dark. They're dark face. Just like in the movie Seven Splinters of Time. There's one guy wearing a white suit and another guy wearing a dark suit. Wandering the neighborhood. But right here towards the end, and you'll read, it's all about finding things in the city, things that weren't there, that shouldn't have been there, were happening and popping up. But right here at the bottom, it says, right here, blankets of the unbelievable. As stranger and stranger things happen, though he begins to wonder if maybe the priest is right after all. I talked a little bit about Stranger Things, that show that just come out. Stranger Things is all about the image of the beast. There's this alternate reality called the Upside Down, and I didn't watch that. It's the dumbest show ever. All this stuff's dumb. Don't get it twisted. I'm not telling you that I'm some fanboy of this stuff. You got me messed up if that's what you think. The only reason I know what happened in some of the Stranger Things episodes is because when I was still in a relationship with the lady named Jenny, she loved that show and she would watch it, and a few times I caught glimpses of what it was of the show because she watched it, and that's it. But that's what Stranger Things is about. It's called Stranger Things. I told you that the hexagram 56, the 6-pointed star, it's all about a stranger, a wanderer in a strange land. He don't know where he is. He thinks he's in the right place, but he's not. That's what it's all about. So let's go. Let me see if there's any more stills that I took that I want to read to you. I don't think so. I do want to talk about the crossings of the eclipses one more time for you. But first, let's go. Let me just show you a couple glimpses of this movie, The Seven Splinters in Time. Now, I know before when I made the video talking about it, it didn't show up. The video didn't show up. But now I found this other version of the movie, or this other place where they shared this movie where you can see it. But you can see right here and on the cover there's an image. Look, this is the same guy right here. You see this guy right here and this guy right here. It's the same, but down here his wife's with him, or this girl. That's what this is all about. So let's watch a little bit of it, and I just want to take you through a little bit. I'm going to have to disconnect my mic so you can hear the audio too. And when I talk, I'll have to pause it. But when I talk, my voice isn't going to sound so great. But you're just going to have to bear with me, is all I can tell you. Okay, for some reason, I made I shown you some things in this movie last night when I made this video. I made the first half, everything you've heard up until this point, I made last night, and I recorded like another 10 minutes of me showing you a few things in this movie, and then me going to Luke and reading from the Messiah's mouth. But for some reason, it took all that out. And it's never, that has never happened to me before using this X Recorder app. Why it did it, I don't know. But I'm going to try to go through this again and show you a couple things in this movie. And then we're going to go to Luke. So just check this out. But notice, like I've said about this movie, everything in this movie, it's symbolism. Everything you see, every image, picture you see, every word that it says is about what I've been talking about. It's about what you need to understand. Notice, they're on a highway. Now, let me fast forward it a little bit here for you and just check this out.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. This is Sergeant Timms with a temporary discharge evaluation for name. You know my name. I've got to hear you say it for the machine.
You're kidding me.
No, please, just tell the machine.
Is it really bright in here? Is it bright in here?
Yeah, it's bright in here.
They say life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards.
Occupation?
Investigator. I was an investigator.
That's fine. See, that wasn't hard. So, how are you feeling, Darius LaFoe?
Don't know what I'm doing, that kind of thing.
You and me both, that's normal.
I don't know what clothes to put on. I don't know what toothpaste to buy.
Sure.
I don't know who I am.
There you go. I don't know who I am. And notice, he's an investigator. He says, I don't know who I am. Now, I'm going to fast forward it. There's a couple key parts that I want you to see, and then we'll go straight to the scripture.
Here's where it starts to get really strange. Timms was right. I did see things from time to time. More and more, the world didn't hold in place. Like a patient's fever dream.
Right there. If you remember the things I showed you, the poetry books that was in the movie Equilibrium, there's a stairwell, and look at the checkered white and black checkered floor at the bottom.
How did I know those tricks?
Now here's the part, one of the parts that you need to understand. This is, he's looking in the mirror, like I told you, all of these movies, the main character at one point or another, they're looking in the mirror and they don't know who they are, or they're coming to the realization of who they are. But notice what happens. Notice what this woman Babs starts doing to him. And I told you in the last video, I might even told you in the beginning of this one, I'm not going to go in circles with anybody. If you want to come and you want to come and ask questions out of love and participate in me and whoever else is watching this, my beautiful sister Tarina, or whoever, Bethany, any of you guys, if somebody wants to come in and they want to ask questions and learn with us and help and love and be of loving commitment, I'm all about it. I will answer any question that, if I can, I will answer any question you have. I will do whatever I have to do to assist you, to love you. I'm committed to love. But if you come in and you just want to try to prove your point or prove me wrong or leave hate in any way, and that's what it is. If you come in and you say, oh no, that's not how it is, this is how it is, instead of saying, well, ain't this how it is, and being of loving commitment, having love, I'm not going to acknowledge you. I'm going to ignore any comment like that, just so you know. But notice he's in the mirror, and watch what happens with Babs. Watch how Babs treats him. She wants her food, and she wants it right now. And then when he brings her a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, she says it's disgusting. It ain't good enough for her. That's how the world is. That's how most of the people who would comment on this or on my Facebook post, that's how they respond to this truth that I'm risking everything to bring to you. They'll come in and they'll all they want to do is start a fight. They're just like the Pharisees and Sadducees when they came up to Messiah and they tried to catch him up, tried to see if he didn't know what he was talking about. And what did Messiah do? He might have said a thing or two, like a sentence or two to him, and it was a parable every time, and it didn't matter if they got it or not. And then he would leave. Sometimes he slipped out the back and didn't even bother dealing with them. And then another time he whipped the shit out of them and ran them up out of the house. So I don't have to sit and go round and round with you and argue with you, and I'm not going to. That's what that dream about the snakes was about. The lady, the nice young sister Tracy that commented on the last video, she got it. She knows what that dream was about. But notice he's looking in the mirror. Notice what happens with Babs. Notice what she's watching. This is what the world it does too. It's so caught up in Babylon that you can bring it truth like this that would save your life, and they would rather watch someone juggling turkey legs. And they're all about it, and they don't care about nothing else, but they want their food and they want it right now.
You're late.
I'm sorry.
What'd you bring me?
Peanut butter and jelly.
Yuck. Set it over there.
What you watching, Beth?
They're announcing who wins the second round.
Exciting.
Now, like I said, go watch this movie and it'll explain everything to you. But notice right here, coming up, he gets a call from the cop, the detective, and to come back down because somebody, his identical twin, his doppelganger, is laying here dead, and he thought it was him.
Is he a relative? Everyone thought it was you.
Right there. That's what you need to understand about the image of the beast. It's someone everyone the world thinks it's not who everyone thinks it is. It's not. And I'm not going to show you any more of this. I'm crunched for time right now. I'm going to go to the Word and read some of the Word for you, because you need to hear what the Messiah says, and it's going to explain to you why it is you will die if you don't get this truth. Why it is you will die for the actions that you take, and it's pretty simple, but most people don't get it. Right here in Luke chapter 18, he says, and he spoke a parable to them that they should always pray and not lose heart, saying, in a certain city there was a certain judge, not fearing the Most High nor regarding man. And a widow was in that city, and she came to him, saying, do right to me by my adversary. And he would not for a while. But afterward he said within himself, even if I do not fear the Most High nor regard man, Yet because this widow troubles me, I shall do right to her, lest by her continual coming she wears me out. Now, he called, Yahusha called that guy the unrighteous judge. And I think, I'm not for sure, but I think that is referring to the enemy. That the enemy has to put the truth. I think this is the rules of engagement. The enemy has to put the truth out there so you can find it. One sec. Had to plug my mic back in. So I think that's what that was. But it on down here a little bit is the key. Yet because this widow troubles me, I shall do right to her, lest by her continual coming she wears me out. And the master said, hear what the unrighteous judge said. And shall the Most High not do right by all means to his own chosen ones who are crying out day and night? Who are crying out day and night to him and being patient over them. And this is what it's all about, Mishpachah. This is what I was trying to convey to you about the movie The Mist. That's what this movie, The Seven Splinters in Time, is trying to convey to you. This is about the wedding supper, the wedding feast. And those who will be partaking in the wedding feast, they're going to be engaged to the Lamb, to the truth. I say to you that he shall do right to them speedily, but when the Son of Adam comes, shall he find the belief on the earth? Shall he? And he also spoke this parable to some who relied on themselves, that they were righteous and looking down on others. And this is huge right here. This is why most people can't get this truth, because they would never stoop so low to come listen to the truth coming from me. They would have said the same thing about Messiah. If they lived in the Messiah's day, they would have wanted Barabbas. That's just how it is. Two men went up to the set-apart place to pray, the one Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood and began to pray with himself this way: Most High, I thank you that I am not like the rest of men, swindlers, unrighteous, adulterers, or even as this tax collector. I fast twice a week. I give tithes of all that I acquire. This sounds just like so many people that talk to me about any of this stuff right here. They tell me how much better they are without saying it, but they let me know all the good stuff they do and all the bad stuff I do. And they let me know that's why I can't have a relationship with the Most High. They're dead wrong. Dead wrong. Those who have a relationship with the Most High look and they're packaged just about like me. They're someone that you wouldn't believe would have a relationship with the Most High. That's just how it is. That's why the Messiah hung out with all the tax collectors and he talked to the whores and everything. That's just how it is. Right here he's going to tell you. But the tax collector, standing at a distance, would not even raise his eyes to the heaven, but was beating his breast, saying, Most High, show favor unto me, a sinner. I say to you, this man went down to his house declared right, rather than the other. For everyone who is exalting himself shall be humbled, and he who is humbling himself shall be exalted. And this is the key part, and this is where I'm going to finish right here. And they also brought infants to him to touch them. But his taught ones, seeing it, rebuked them. But Yahusha called them to him and said, Let the little children come to me, and do not forbid them, for of such is the reign of the Most High. Truly I say to you, whoever does not receive the reign of the Most High as a little child shall certainly not enter into it. Mishpachah. You have to put your childlike faith into action. I'll say it again. If you're convinced that I'm full of crap and that the real set-apart land, our inheritance is over there, where I've been telling you it's not, you ain't put your childlike faith into action. How many of you who don't agree with what I say about where it is and where it ain't, how many of you have went and looked like a little child, letting the Lamb, the Word, the truth, the life, the way lead you wherever it take, where you how many of you have followed it, wherever it's led you, to go see where it is? I'll ask you this: some of you that might hear this, that who would tell me that you fast twice a week and that you go to the assembly every Shabbat and you do all these things. How many of you are okay with blasphemy, being a part of the blaspheming of the name of our Father? I'm sure you'll tell me, no, you ain't okay with that. You're not. I ain't okay with that. And hallelujah that you're not okay with that. But you're okay with them blaspheming his set-apart mountain and his set-apart place. You're okay with being lied and being a part of the lying to his people, his children, about where their inheritance is. Would you have been okay if the enemy would have convinced the children of Yasharal when he brought them out of Egypt with Moses? Would you have been okay with the enemy telling them, no, don't go left towards the set-apart land, go right, let's go over here instead, this is the set-apart land? Would you have been okay with that? You see, it's bigger than just knowing where the land is, but the land is part of it. If you ain't got the childlike faith to go look to see if this is true, you ain't got the childlike faith to enter into the kingdom. It's just how it is. Babylon is more important to you. Babylon that's lied to you and lied to his children, it is more important to you. I pray that you get this, Mishpachah. I pray that you put your childlike faith into action. One foot in front of the other, the tango. Or not. It's your call. I love you, Mish. Peace out.